Something big is happening. This week, an article with that exact title went viral with over 72 million views. And when you look at what has happened this week, it's pretty hard to disagree. Spotify CEO says its best engineers haven't written a line of code since December. Stripe says it now produces over 1,000 AI-written pull requests a week. Google is launching a new agent that transforms how you design your products, and Anthropic's CoWork has gained even more powers. We'll take a look at all of that and more, and as always, if you enjoy the briefing, hit the subscribe and the like button. So let's start with Spotify. On this week's Q4 earnings call, co-CEO Gustav Soderstrom revealed that the company's best developers haven't written a single line of code since December. And he wasn't saying this as a warning, he was saying it more of a flex, which with investors hungry for AI transformation, makes a lot of sense. According to Soderstrom, Spotify's engineers use an internal system called Honk, which is built on top of Claude Code. And here's how Soderstrom described it. An engineer on their morning commute on their phone sends a Slack message telling Claude to fix a bug or add a new feature to the iOS app. By the time they walk through the office door, a new version of the app is waiting for them. They scan the QR code, get access to the new version of the product, and review it before deciding whether to merge it. Soderstrom says that they've been told by their partners that their setup is industry leading, but they're certainly not the only company adopting these types of workflows. This week, Stripe published a paper revealing that over 1,000 of its pull requests every week are now written entirely by AI. In a similar setup to Spotify, an engineer sends a Slack message describing a task, and what Stripe calls a minion handles everything from there. So that includes things like writing the code, running the tests, fixing failures, and opening a pull request ready for the engineer to review. What makes this particularly impressive is the scale of which these Stripe minions are working with. Stripe's codebase handles over $1 trillion of payment volume every year, spans hundreds of millions of lines of code, and carries serious regulatory and compliance obligations. Stripe says that they built their minions in-house precisely because off-the-shelf tools weren't up to the job. But if AI is writing all of this code for companies like Spotify and Stripe, who's actually monitoring it? This is exactly the question that GitHub's former CEO is trying to answer. So after stepping down last year in August, GitHub CEO is back with a new startup that reimagines the software development process. So his new company is called Entire. And this week, he raised $60 million in funding to build a future where engineers no longer have to read the code that is created by agents. Entire's first product, called Checkpoints, creates a detailed log of an AI agent's thought process and actions as it writes the code, so humans can inspect it without necessarily reading every line of code itself. So the traditional model is that humans write code and other humans review it and then it ships. But the new emerging model is that AI agents write most of the code with a question mark over who is actually watching the AI. Entire is essentially proposing a new layer in that workflow, so a kind of AI supervisor that sits between the agent and production. And this could transform product development in a number of ways. So smaller teams could ship much faster if they trust agents to handle implementation. Non-engineers, so product managers and founders, could potentially oversee AI-built software without deep coding knowledge, since Checkpoints translates agent activity into something more human-readable. It also creates an audit trail, which is critical for regulated industries like finance or healthcare, that they'll need to demonstrate oversight of their systems. And the former GitHub CEO's bet is essentially that AI-written code becomes the norm, but that the oversight of that becomes the new bottleneck that's worth solving. So when you put all these things together, Spotify, Stripe, and Entire kind of tell the same story from opposite ends. Spotify and Stripe show that unattended AI coding is already here at the frontier, but Entire is building the infrastructure to govern it. But it's not just engineering that is being disrupted, of course, and this week, Google's Stitch, which is the experimental product from Google Labs, has launched what it calls an Ideate agent. So this is designed to be used at the start of the development of new product features, before you commit to a specific design. Ideate will search the web on your behalf to find examples of user journeys and then add these to your Stitch board for review. So for example, you could ask it to do something like analyze the top 3 e-commerce checkout flows and design the version for my store, or look at the current trends in SaaS pricing pages and generate 3 options for my product. Google's product manager for Stitch, Rustin Banks, says that this is the first step in the direction of what he calls deep design, where a user can come to Stitch with a problem, and then Stitch does the research, generates a PRD, and then outputs multiple solutions for product teams to review before implementing. In a sense, Stitch is effectively productizing competitive analysis and turning it into a one-click design workflow. And while we're on the topic of transformative design tools, this is another one that could be worth checking out. So this is a new feature from a product called Variant UI. And it's essentially a color dropper tool, but it works not only for colors, but for entire styles. So you can see in this demo, to use this, you simply click on the color dropper over a web page or component, and it will copy the entire style from that page. Now, ethically, this does feel a little bit wrong, given that the craftsmanship that has gone into something as intricate and detailed as a product's UI can now be cloned in just a few clicks. But right now, all of this just feels kind of inevitable, and it isn't just digital product design that's at risk. The entire creative industry is at risk of AI disruption, and new examples of videos created from ByteDance Seed 2.0 went viral this week to prove this. Here's a video from Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt fighting using this new model, which I think you'll agree is somewhat indistinguishable now from reality. And this general feeling of anguish towards AI and what it is capable of was summed up pretty nicely in an article that went viral on X this week entitled "Something Big is Happening." This article has had over 72 million views so far, which is pretty incredible. But in it, he describes how just a couple of months before writing this, he was still actively collaborating with AI, so that is going back and forth, guiding it and making edits. But now he just describes exactly what he wants in plain English, walks away for hours and comes back to find the work done. The output is often better than what he would have done himself. In this article, he singles out GPT 5.3 Codex as the model that shook him the most, because he says it wasn't just executing instructions, it seemed to exercise something like judgment and taste, making calls that felt intuitive rather than just technically correct. He describes the realization as feeling like the moment you realize the water has been rising around you and is now at your chest, which suggests something more like a dawning dread than excitement. Now, if you're attuned to spotting AI-generated content, then you'll probably have a hunch that this post is probably at least partially written by AI, which in itself proves pretty much the point of the post. But if you haven't had the chance to read it yet, I'll pop the link in the description for you to have a read. And it might be worth doing what this commentator suggests, which is putting the article into an LLM and then tailoring it to your own situation to uncover ways that you might be able to prepare for the future. Elsewhere this week, Anthropic has released some updates to its CoWork product, and it's now available on Windows for the first time, which in a way is a more natural home for the product, given that it works directly with Microsoft software like Excel, PowerPoint, and Word. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella's dream was to build an AI coworker, but to some extent it looks like Anthropic is beating them to it. This week, the company also added a new feature to CoWork called folder instructions, which lets you guide Claude CoWork in the same way as you might do with a colleague. CoWork uses a folder system where it will read and create files in the directory you give it access to, and in this example shown by Felix Riesberg, the engineer who works on it, he says that you can use these folder instructions to write instructions in plain language and focus on what's important. So some of the examples of the kinds of details that you might want to add to folder instructions include things like key contacts for your business, information about your company, and details around formatting and style. There are also leaks emerging this week that CoWork may also be coming to mobile devices soon. And it was CoWork and its plugins that led to the so-called SaaSpocalypse last week. So this week I spent some time looking at some of the ways that you can use CoWork at work. And in this latest knowledge series over on Substack, I explore how you can build a mini competitive intelligence system that will automatically visit your competitors' websites in Chrome, log details about them, and then create artifacts based on its findings. So check that one out over on Substack if you're interested in learning more about Claude CoWork. Elsewhere this week, outside of the workplace and in the consumer space, Uber has launched a new AI feature called Cart Assistant that lets users upload a photograph of a shopping list or type a shopping list, and then the assistant will automatically add those items on behalf of the user, who can then review them and proceed to the checkout. Uber's CTO says that this is an early example of how the company is solving problems with agentic AI, and says that over time, this assistant will learn user preferences to speed up the process. And Amazon also rolled out a similar feature called Send to Alexa, which is for Kindle Scribe owners. So this lets you send your handwritten notes or documents to Alexa, who will then summarize them and turn them into to-do lists, calendar events, or reminders. Now let's move on to some data and trends for the week. And despite some potential existential threats, some new data from Figma tells a slightly different story. This report finds that 82% of companies say that their need for designers has held steady or grown, and 40% of hiring managers now plan to open new roles in the next 6 months. But there are some important caveats. The report shows that companies urgently need designers who understand AI, both building AI products, so 79% say this is increasingly required, and using AI tools in workflows, with 73% of people of respondents saying this is required. But it is senior roles where the action is. 56% of hiring managers say that they are prioritizing senior hires versus just 25% looking for junior talent. So it looks like teams want people who can hit the ground running on complex AI design challenges without much ramp-up time. And as you can see from this graph, the fastest growing companies are the ones that are most likely to prioritize senior designers. So in this graph, it breaks down companies based on slower growth, average growth, and faster growth. And you can see that the faster growth companies are more likely to be hiring senior designers than slower growth companies. So this full report is worth a read. I'll pop the link to that in the description so that you can have a read of that. So it's clear from this study from Figma that AI is quickly becoming a requirement for new roles. But is the use of AI having a toll on workers' mental health? This week, a fascinating new study from Harvard Business Review looked specifically at the impact of AI on product teams. So in this study, researchers spent 8 months observing a 200-person tech company, and they discovered that AI tools consistently made work more intense and not necessarily easier. According to the study, employees voluntarily expanded their workloads in 3 ways. They took on tasks outside of their expertise, so that was things like product managers taking on coding, researchers doing engineering work, and so on. They worked during their breaks by firing off quick prompts to AI, and they multitasked more because AI felt like a helpful partner running in the background. The result, according to this study, was a self-reinforcing cycle where AI sped up work, which raised expectations for speed, making them more reliant on AI, which expanded what they attempted. Workers felt more productive but also busier and more fatigued than before. The researchers warned that this workload creep is invisible to leadership because it's voluntary and feels rewarding initially, but ultimately leads to burnout and poor decisions over time. Their proposed solution is that companies need structured AI practices with intentional pauses, batched workflows, and protected time for human connection. So we've all been talking about role scope creep and the blurring lines between what were once fairly well-defined disciplines in product teams. But this study shows that AI is accelerating the convergence across traditional product roles. What do you think? Are you feeling more productive but also more anxious as a result of overworking yourself? Let me know in the comments below. And on that note, I'll leave it there for this week. Thanks very much for listening and watching. I'll be back next week with another briefing.